أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل محمد وبارك وسلم عليه رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربنا زدنا علما أجمعين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته Alhamdulillah by Allah's grace and fadl we are in the class number 170. Inshallah today we are going to start lesson number 23 of Duroos volume 3. Let's get started. Lesson 23. In this lesson we learn the following. Bab افتعل. This is bab number 8. In this bab, E is added before the first radical. The ta after it. So before the first radical, before the fa kalima, and hamzatul wasl with kasra is added, and after the first radical, this fa kalima, ta letter ta is added. Example: Nadara intadara. Nadara he looked. Intadara he waited. Note that this is not bab infa'ala because noon, the first radical in this verb, and the ta is extra. So here nadara where noon is the fa radical. So you should not get confused that this is not. It's not bab infa'ala. It is bab ifta'ala. Okay. And the next mahna imtahna. He examined. The extra ta changes to dal or twa as explained below. This is something very important. Please make a note of this. The extra ta changes to dal or twa as explained below. Yeah. The first radical is dal, za, zal. The first radical is either da, za, zal. The extra ta changes to dal. Example, da'a, idda'a. He climbed. For izda'a. So this ta will be changed to idda'a. Okay. Next, zakara. Is zakara. He remembered for is zakara. So what happens here? This ta will be changed to dal. Is zakara. With the assimilation of zal to dal, the form is zakara also becomes iddakara. What happens here? Here also the assimilation is happening. So zal will be dropped and it becomes idzakara. Zahama is dahma for istahma. So this is dahma, not for istahma. Istahma, we say is dahma. So this is something very important. We say this concept is called al-ibdal wal-i'lal modification. This modification will happen in the in this bab. In ifta'al bab, when the first article either dal or zal or za, it will change to da. The extra ta will change to dal, as it is explained here. Next, but if the first radical is swad, wad, twa, the extra ta changes to twa. This is point number 2. For example, sabara, istabara. He had patience for istabara. Istabara, you got here twa instead of ta. Dwaraba, is dwaraba. You was instead of unrest for is taraba. Tala'a, ittala'a, he knew for ittala'a. Zalama, is zalama, is zalama. He put up with wrong for is zalama. If the first radical is vav, it gets assimilated to the extra ta. Example, wahada, ittahada. It was rated for yubtahada. Waka, ittaka, he failed. He protected himself for yutaka. So here 3 important points have been given here. The first article, if it is da, zal, za, it will change the time. The extra ta will change to dal. If the first radical is either swa, wa, twa, va, the extra ta will get changed to twa. The first radical is vav and it gets assimilated to the extra ta. Wahada, ittahada. For yutahada. Waka ittaka for yuttaka. Okay. Then it's mudari form. The harf mudari takes fataha. Example, intadara yantadiru. He waits. Ibtasama yabtasimu. He smiles. Istama'a yastami'u. He listens. Ikhtara, he selected. Ikhtaru, he selects. For yakhtayiru. Okay, now we have a amru form. After the omission of the harf mudariya, the verb commences with a sakin letter, so hamza wasl is to be prefixed. Example, tantadiru becomes intadir. This ta will get dropped. Then we place hamza and we give kasra. It becomes intadir. Wait. Okay, the masdar form. It is on the pattern of ifti'al. Example, intidarun, waiting, istima'un, gathering, ikhtiyarun, selection, iltiqa'un, meeting, for iltiqayun. The ismul fa'il and the ismul maf'ul. These are found by replacing the harf mudari with mu. The second radical takes kasra in the ismul fa'il and fatha in the ismul maf'ul. Example, yamtahinu, he examines, mumtahinun. Examiner, mumtahanun, one who is examined. Okay. The mudaf and the ajwab, the mudaf means double verb. And the ajwab verbs, both the ismul fa'il and the ismul maf'ul have the same form. Example, yashtakku, he derives mushtakkun, which stands for mushtaqikun. For ismul fa'il, and the mushtaqakun for ismul maf'ul. Okay, mushtaqikun and mushtaqakun. With sand, but actually you have got here mushtaqqun, because you got here two consecutive kaf for the ismul fa'il, and for the ismul fa'il also you have got consecutive identical letter. The ka comes as identical letter, so it becomes here mushtaqqun. So the ismul fa'il and the ismul maf'ul will have the same form. Okay, mushtaqqun. It is for muda'af verbs. The same way, from Yakhtaru, he selects Mukhtarun, which stands for Mukhtayirun for ismul fa'il and Mukhtayirun for ismul maf'ul. So we have seen just for muda'af verb. And as far as ajwab verb is concerned, the same way should be followed for ajwab verbs as well. For this pattern, we have Mukhtarun, it is for ismul maf'ul, ismul fa'il as well as ismul maf'ul. Okay. The noun of place and time. It is the same as the ism maf'ul. Example, mujtama'un, society, literally place of gathering. Multazamu, al-multazam, place of embracing. It is the name given to the part of the Kaaba which lies between the black stone and the door, because it is sunnah to embrace this part. Al-multazam, we say multazam. Okay. Now form number 2. As in Bab Infa'ala. Infa'ala is Bab number 7. But here the explanation is been given here. As in Bab Infa'ala, the Hamzatul Wasl is omitted in this Bab also when Hamzatul Istifham is prefixed to the verb. Example, intadartani becomes antadartani. Here, did you wait for me? For intadartani. This Hamzatul Wasl, it gets assimilated. In the Quran, Astafal Banati al Banina. Has he preferred daughters to sons? Actually, istafa becomes astafa. Okay, has he preferred? Al banati is maf'ul bi here. Al banina is jar majrur. Point number 3. We have learned idha meaning if or when in lesson number 14. It is also used to express surprise. On hearing a knock at the door, you go out expecting to see your old friend, but behold, you find a policeman waiting for you. To express this unexpected turn of event, you use Idha al-Fujaiyyah, Idha of Surprise. Example, kharajtu fa idha shurtin bil bab. I went out, and to my surprise, there was a policeman at the door. If one of us throws his walking stick, nothing happens except that its position changes from vertical to horizontal. But when Musa alayhi salam dropped his stick, something unexpected happened. It turned into a snake. The Quran uses Idha of Surprise to express this event. فَلْكَ أَصَاهُ فَإِذَا هِيَ ثُعْبَانٌ مُبِينٌ وَنَزَعَ يَدَهُ فَإِذَا هِيَ بَيْضَاءٌ لِلنَّاظِرِينَ. So he dropped his stick, and to the surprise, there was a snake visible. And he drew his hand from his bosom, and to their surprise, it was white to the beholders. Holy Quran, chapter number 7, verse number 107 and 108. Two things should be noted here. One, the fa is usually prefixed to Iza. B, the mubtada occurring after Iza of surprise may be indefinite. Example, dakhaltu al-ghurfata faida hayyatun al-sariri. I entered the room, and to my shock and surprise, there was a snake on the bed. So this is called Idha al-Fujaiya. Fujaiya means surprise. Fujaiya. Point number 4. The verb zanna takes two objects which are originally mubtada and khabar. Example, azunnu al-imtihana karibun. Actually, al-imtihanu karibun. Put azunnu al-imtihana karibun. I think the examination is clear. Here al-imtihan is the first object, karibun is the second. Okay. Al-Mudiru Yati Gadan. Adunu Al-Mudir Yati Gadan. I think the headmaster is coming tomorrow. Here Al-Mudira, the first object. The sentence Yati Gadan is the second object, and it is Mahalli Nasbin. Zanna may be followed by Anna or An. Example, Al-Imtihanu Sahlun. Adunu Anna Al-Imtihana Sahlun. I think the examination is easy. Here Al-Imtihana is the Ismu Inna and Sahlun is Khabaru Anna. We learned in book number 2. In lesson number, I guess, 4. The Holy Quran, in verse number chapter number 41 and verse number 22, وَلَكِنْ ظَنَنْتُمْ أَنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَعْلَمُ كَثِيرًا مِمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ. But you thought that Allah does not know much of what you are doing. B. يَرْسُبُ أَحْمَدُ. Ahmad will fail. مَا ظَنَنْتُ أَنْ يَرْسُبَ أَحْمَدُ. I did not think that Ahmad would fail. The Quran, in the Holy Quran, we have in verse number, chapter number 18 and verse number 35, قَالَ مَا أَظُنُّ أَنْ تَبِدَ هَذِهِ أَبَدًا. He said, I don't think that all this will ever perish. It is there in Surah Al-Kahf. Okay, here you can see the Janna is followed by either the Anna and An. And if you have Anna, then you should have Ismu Anna Mansub, Khabaru Anna Marfu. When you have An, then you have An Tabida, here Fail Mudari becomes Mansub. Okay. Please make a note of this. Point number 5 is very important. That is using of the verb dakhala. We say dakhaltul bayta or dakhaltul masjida or dakhaltul ghurfata. But dakhaltu fil imtihani, dakhaltu fil islami. That is, if what you enter is a place like a house or a mosque, you don't use fi. Otherwise, use fi. The Quran we have dakhala jannatuhu, and he entered his garden. Surah Al-Kahf, verse number 35. But walamma yadkhulul imanu fi qulubikum, here you have used the fi, and faith has not entered into your hearts. Correct? Chapter number 49, verse number 14. We have both these usages in fadkhuli fi ibadi wadkhuli jannati. Okay, please check here the first verb, dakhala yadkhulu, we have fi, and after wadkhuli jannati we don't have fi. So this has been explained by Dr. Fasal here. Just check. So enter among my servants and enter my paradise. So a point is given. If what you enter is a place like a house or mosque, don't use fi. Where we don't use fi. Otherwise, use fi. Which means if it is in a specific place, we don't put preposition fi. If it is an unspecific place, we use fi. Okay. Point number 6. We have learned the ismul fa'il in lesson 4. Now we learn the pattern of fa'alun, which denotes intensity in the ismul al-fa'il. Example: ghafirun, one who forgives. Ghaffarun, one who forgives much. Razikun, one who provides. Razzakun, one who provides much. Akilun, one who eats. And Akkalun, one who eats much. Eataholic. These are four other forms which denote in. There are four other forms which denote intensity. These are example fa'ilun, example alimun, one who knows much. Samiun, one who hears much. Fa'ulun, wasn't fa'ulun, is ghafur, one who forgives much. Shakurun, one who thanks much. Abusun, one who frowns much. Akulun, one who eats much. So we have pattern fa'alun, which denotes the intensity. Similarly, we have fa'ilun, fa'ulun, fa'ilun, and mifalun. Okay. Fa'ilun, example, hazirun, very cautious. Mif'alun, example, ta'un, one who gives much. These 5 patterns, including fa'al, these 5 patterns are called siyagul mubalaghatil ism al-fa'ili, the patterns denoting intensity in the ism al-fa'il. Okay. Or you can also say ism mubalagha, or you can say siyagu mubalaghati ism al-fa'ili. Point number 7. La budda min al-ikhtibar. One must take the test. It literally means there is no escape from the test. The Buddha means to escape. La Buddha means absolutely there is no escape. This is la legends. La legends. La Buddha min al-ikhtibar. One must take this, but it literally means there is no escape from the test. Here, La is lam nafi legends, which we have learned in lesson 21. If a masdar mawal is used, min may be omitted. Example: La Buddha an taktuba lahu, you must write to him. La Buddha an nusafira, we must travel. La Buddha an tata'allamu tashqil al-hasubi, you must learn how to operate a computer. We also learned this concept in lesson 21 of the same book. Now again, due to the Prof himself has given the introduction about the La Buddha. The usage of Lamun Nafiya with Buddha, La Buddha. Okay. Alhamdulillah, many important points have been given here. Let us see one by one in detail. பாருங்க, இந்த பாடத்தில் நம்ம இஃப்தால படிக்கிறோம். افتعل. This is form number 8. So alif plus fa, then ta. இதை நம்ம ஆட் பண்ணிக்கிறது இது ரெண்டுத்தையும் இல்லையா? இஃப்தால். இஃப்தால யஃப்தைலு. மாதி, இது முதாரி. அம்ர் ஃபார்ம் இஃப்தைல். Right? Ism fa'il mufta'ilun. And ism fa'il as well as usi makan wa zaman ifta'alun. And masdar form ifti'alun. So the verb nazara. Nazara means he looked. When you bring nazara on this form, it becomes intadara. But intadara நீங்க என்ன நினைச்சுக்கூடாது, இன்ஃபாயில் பாப்பா நினைச்சுக்கூடாது. நல்லா பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இந்த நூன் வந்து ஃபார் அடிக்கல். ஸோ ஃபார் அடிக்கல நூன் இருக்கு. இன் த வர எந்ததிரு அமர் ஃபார்ம் இன் ததிர். ஸோ எந்ததிரும் இருக்கு. நம்ம தேவை வந்து கொண்டு வருவீங்க. எந்ததிரு தந்ததிரு. அப்புறம் அருள் முதலாவே எடுத்துருவோம். எடுத்தாச்சு. படிக்க முடியாது, அலிப்பு சேர்ப்போம். லாஸ்ட்டுக்கு சுக்குன் தருவோம், மஞ்சு மாற்றிடுவோம். இது இன்ததிர். இன்ததிர he waited. Nadara means he looked. Intadar means he waited. வெயிட்னா என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, ஆளை பார்த்துக்கிட்டே இருப்பார். வராரா 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 இல்லையா? அப்போ பார்க்கறது நதர. இன்ததர்னா he waited. அவனுக்காக காத்துட்டே இருக்குது. வழி மேல வெளியே வச்சு பார்த்துட்டே இருக்கிறது சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா? எந்ததிரு he waits. இன்ததிர் வெயிட். சரி, அப்போ இஸ்முல் ஃபாயில் வந்து உங்களுக்கு முதாரியில இருந்து அந்த ஹர்ஃப் முதாரி எடுத்துட்டு மீம் வித் தம்மா சேர்த்துடணும். கடைசி லெட்டருக்கு டபுள் தம்மா கொடுத்தோம். முன்ததிருன், the person who is waiting. முன்ததிருன் இங்க முன் அசல் ஃபதா வரும். முன்ததிருன். மஸ்தர் ஃபார்ம் இன்திதாருன். இன்திதார், இன்திதாருன் வெயிட்டிங். அவ்வளவுதான்.